Diet. Give me the run through.
My diet is so every morning I usually just eat a bunch of oats. I'm sure you would love.
Oof. Mm. Carbs.
Lunch, I usually have like these same meals. It's this local little place down the road that does this food. It's like $1.50 for this. A bunch of rice, a bunch of what we call matoke, which is basically a type of banana that you mush together and you cook, and it's a very solid thing. And then there's another one called there's a bunch of all of these like local, really starchy, thick stuff that's thrown in here. And there's also meat, and then there's also like sweet potato, and then there's also pumpkin, like a bunch of it. Like this whole thing is full, basically, like this thing. Um,
Fuck.
and it's very heavy. It's very filling meal. It's what I usually eat after training. Dinner, I usually wing it for dinner because I don't make a lot of time to cook for dinner. So if I don't have this for lunch, I have this for dinner. But dinner is then usually like, usually if I'm winging it, it's just gonna end up being like 4 slices of just bread with peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
Oh, okay, there we go. I gotta win. I gotta win.
Yeah, you got one. It's a bit of an addiction. Do you enjoy doing that?
No, since I started trying to put on a lot of mass in October. Since then, I exposed myself to the life of just like because I was very, very, very thin. I had the understanding that a lot of people like to share, which is you have to stuff yourself with a lot of food to bulk and put on weight. Not enjoy it at all. I'm not enjoying this meal right now, but I'm also I have that character, which is just like I like the fact that I don't enjoy it, or maybe I don't like it, but I've just gotten myself used to like just doing it.
Another
Yeah.
thing why fasting's good in the morning because it actually helps you put on weight. Stupid. I can't remember the exact specifics, but if you fast in the morning, then train, it not only produces the specific hormone that generates more testosterone and gives you more muscle, but it also generates a type of chemical that produces your body to, when it has food, store it better and holds onto you. Because it's in the survival mode, it goes, okay, next time I'm not fucking letting go of this, and it holds on to it.
Yeah.
So it's your
Yeah.
body's way of protecting it by putting more on. Whereas you like me, I was really skinny as well when I was younger. The metabolism was of a literally my metabolism now is still that of a 14-year-old's. It's like super quick.
Really?
So yeah. So hard to put on weight. The only way to put on weight for me back then was to make sure the protein that I was eating was like you have to eat a very high grade protein and lots of it. How much protein are you eating a day?
I have no idea. I have no idea how
That's
to
the
actually
number one
measure
thing you need to work out right now. So, what's your body weight?
more
Probably
protein.
60. What do you weigh? 58.
Yeah, I got myself to 60. I'm right now like barely hanging out to 60. I'm maybe 58, 58-ish. I
And
weighed
what's
it
your height?
yesterday. Like 5'7".
Okay, that's not bad for being 5'7". Some of my friends are 5'10", 5'11", and they weigh 60 kilograms. Like skinny.
Yeah, that's what I did was
Okay.
I like just that bulking process. I just
Going to say was so if your body weight is 60 kilograms, you need to then double the amount of protein in grams that you're having in kilograms by 2 to 2.5. So you want to have 120 to 150 grams of protein per day. Otherwise, you're not going to be having enough protein to build muscle, to gain muscle, to put weight on. And putting weight on for you is hard because you can't store the fat, you can't store that into your body. So the only way would be to build muscle, which you need sufficient protein. So make sure you're doing that. That's the main thing. I was training for like 4 years and I didn't do nothing, didn't put much on. And then as soon as I started, like in the morning, it would be a really protein rich super smoothie, which is so I'll have a banana and then I'll have spinach and kale, and then it'll be like loads of berries, and then it'll be nuts and seeds. So I'd have hemp seeds, I'd have flax seeds, and then I'd have a scoop of protein shake, which is plant-based protein, and then it would be a scoop of peanut butter, and then it'd be a couple of other things. I'll put like vitamin D in there if it's the winter. I'll put in omega-3. I'll put in B12 because I don't eat much meat. So it's all plant-based protein. And then I'd have that, and then at lunch would be protein focused. Then after the gym would be 2 scoops of protein, which is another 50 grams. And then at dinner it's chicken and vegetables, but all food that I enjoy and that I like. So
yeah.
don't eat shit you don't like. Fuck that. What that does is that will give you a eating disorder. And I've seen people do it before. You really shouldn't
Really?
do that. But you're eating for the sake of it. One of my friends would be like chicken and rice, broccoli. I don't want to eat any more of it. It's just disgusting, but I'm doing it for the protein because I need the gains to get it in. No, just eat food that you like, but make sure it's protein rich.
Yeah.
That's when studying about nutrition and studying about diet is really important, because then you start to look at how you're cooking and what you're doing. You might go, okay, on a Sunday, I'm going to bulk batch. I'm going to cook a massive pot of chicken stew. I'm going to cook a massive pot of bolognese. I'm going to cook a massive pot of that. And that gives you 5 portions per week. And then just on that night, cook a bit of pasta. On that night, cook a bit of rice. And then it's like 10-minute meals. But it's about knowing what your body needs and knowing what's the best way of doing it. If you don't like cooking, buy what you're doing, because that's cheap as fuck anyway. You're earning way more than that, so it's well worth outsourcing your meals. But to me, you're eating way too much carbs. It's like carbs aren't bad; they're energy, but they also make you heavy, slow, lethargic, and they're not good for your body.
Like with this meal, even if I'd eat it with my dad, he would just fall asleep afterwards, or he wouldn't even want to move afterwards. Very heavy, very thick. Very thick.
Carbs are best before you go to sleep. Well, not before you go to sleep, but your last meal of the day.
Yeah, so I was
long stored energy for the morning.
Yeah, because I was wanting to swap these to eat them at dinner. It's just that at dinner I have like not even motivation. I just cannot be asked to eat this meal at dinner because it's just packed with everything. But the good thing is just because they have a lot, they often throw a lot of like cabbage. They throw a lot of greens into this stuff. Pumpkin, sweet potato, everything onto it. But it is a lot of carbs because it's just so heavy and there's just so much of everything.
Split it up. Just eat the protein and then have half the carbs.
That's a good way of looking through it, yeah.
And then you can add a chicken breast to it the next day, which is a quick meal.
Yeah, that is true. I can actually break this up and make it much easier.
Of course you can. Variations. Think outside the box. But always start with the protein. Always.
20 grams of,
like 20 to 30 grams of protein roughly per meal is what you want. At least. If you're bulking, even more. And then your protein shake, you've got to have that. Because that's recovery. That will help you lift heavier, go harder, go stronger. It's roughly knowing. I know eggs have got 6 grams of protein. I know a handful of seeds or hemp seeds have got 10 grams of protein. I know a handful of nuts have got X amount of protein. But you just got to look it up. Go on Google, ChatGPT. I'm sure it will tell you. Roughly, it's all like certain measurements. I get a lot of my protein from nuts and seeds.
Oh, okay.
Like a fucking
we
bird.
actually do have. We actually do have a lot of nuts and seeds here as well.
It's not just protein that they're rich with. They've got like omega-3 oils. They've got all sorts of stuff in there, which like this is what we were brought up on. We were hunter-gatherers, you know.
Yeah.
And people just don't even eat them anymore. Like I think hemp seeds are one of the most nutrient-dense things that you could eat in the world. I remember someone talking about it on a podcast, but they were saying basically if there was one food that you would have to survive on for the rest of your life and you could only eat this, it would be hemp seeds.
Really?
Yeah, hemp seeds are powerful. Not only can you you can decarbonize the fucking whole world, you can eat them, you can grind them up, you can grow some hemp plants to make clothes out of, you can create all sorts of shit out of it. Yeah, they make it illegal. Yeah, but just try and work it out. Like work it out on your daily, see how much you're eating now, and then see what happens in 6 weeks after you start lifting weights.
Yeah, ironically, it's like because as well, even as I've stopped like eating, like I started past 3 weeks, I've been like eating 2 meals a day. I don't eat dinner because by the time I do, it's too late. Because you know how I was just doing those long hours, and I would just like sleep and then eat in the morning and then keep that going. But I haven't lost a lot of mass and I've not really lost a lot of muscle either. And it's just showing that this actually is not really doing that much for me either way. But another thing is I can still hardly walk. This dude kicked the heck out of my legs. Like he really kicked the heck out of me. Because at my girlfriend's house, they have stairs there. And I was just like spending 5 minutes just hop, lean, hop on the next stair.
Yeah, know the feeling. I think the best thing ever, and when you know that you've done a good leg day, is that when you're trying to have a shit. You're trying to have a shit, you're like pressing on the side of the walls to lower yourself onto the toilet without losing yourself down.
Yeah. For me, it's not soreness. He kicked my leg. Like it's a spot that he kicked like really, really, really
dead
hard.
leg.
Yeah, that's like I can't.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can't
they're the
bend it,
worst.
can't do anything. And he said like, "Oh, I'll come." Like he was asking, "Did you massage it like this?" I said, "No, I just sprayed deep heat." He said, "Okay, you'll see tomorrow at training." And I was like, "Bro, I just told you I can't walk. What do you mean you'll see tomorrow at training?" So I think I'll see if I can go tomorrow. Um,
No, go. Just show him
yeah,
that you're willing to turn up even if you're injured.
yeah, yeah,
Just do it.
yeah.
Fuck it. You can go there, do press ups, you can stand there and do boxing, you can do
True,
whatever.
true.
Just
Yeah.
don't limit yourself.
You're right. Yeah, it is an excuse because even now with my wrists, because I block his kicks with my wrists, which I shouldn't do, they're really, really messed up, and I can't lift anything anymore with my arms. And I'd gone like 3 weeks without like training my arms or like lifting anything, and because I was healing, and then after the 15 rounds last week, they are like 10 times worse than they were at the start of the 3 weeks. Um,
Exactly.
so
It's the
with that, I
classic,
was
isn't it?
putting an excuse. Yeah.
Like if you miss one day at the gym, it's not too bad. If you miss 2 days at the gym, it's really bad because on the third day you don't want to go, and then by the time you actually get back, you end up maybe a week's gone by because you're like, oh, I'll just start again next week, and when you get back to next week, you are so much less motivated. You can't lift as heavy. Everything's twice as hard. It's really frustrating because you're then like, oh, I've just missed this out, and it's a momentum thing. It's like turning up every day. If you don't turn up every day and you're working on your business and you miss 3 days, you lose all momentum and focus, don't you? Because you're like, oh, what was I doing? What was I doing with this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, it's like I can't afford to miss another day. I have to go because otherwise I'm going to lose momentum, and the compounding works
Yeah.
against you, not with you.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. That's why I haven't been missing any of the training because I did my first sparring in like December, end of December, in and then I didn't go again for the past like 3 months because I was getting the business stuff sorted out. And when I came back, I was like, "Good Lord, I cannot afford to miss like this amount of time anymore." Like it
Yeah.
was so bad. The first 2 weeks was brutal, brutal. But that was actually what allowed me to do those 15-hour work days was that more tired training. It was that training because I also work out in the mornings. I work out every day in the mornings as well. That plus that really helped the testosterone and the resting. Like I just didn't run out of energy at all, and I wasn't even sleeping. It was just that
Right.
stuff was like saving my ass with work. Because then it's like I'll come back and I'll be like, "Oh, you have to hop on a sales call." I'll be like, "Excuse me, that's it." That's all. I've just gotten my ass beat profoundly, and you don't want me to handle paperwork. Everything is like an easy mode after that. Everything is so much easier.
It's great, isn't it? Good to
Yeah,
put that into perspective.
yeah,
Crazy though, you're doing all of that and not even having like knowing how much protein you're getting in. Like if you, by the sounds of it, you're nowhere near what you should be eating, which is funny. So you do that for 4 weeks, you'll notice a big difference.
mm. I count the
Big
protein,
difference.
getting the seeds, remove
So,
carbs.
well, don't remove them completely, especially when you're younger. It's not so bad, but it's just carbs make you lethargic, and they're just starchy, especially starchy carbs like white rice, white bread, all of that stuff's just not amazing. Try to reduce it if you can. I'm exactly like you. I've got to get in loads of food. I've got to have in like mountains like this, bowls of porridge, potatoes, just too much stuff, and it's like you don't need to eat that much. I focus into like a 7 hour time window now and be like, okay, I'm going to eat from 12 till 7, and that's it. My body's only digesting
Oh,
because you're
just
just
eating.
constantly eating. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it depends. It's not for everybody. You can learn skill, you can get better at something,
yeah,
you can improve at all of that. But the other people who have the skill and the natural talent and ability can't get that burning desire because they never have it because they haven't got the mindset. So you're going to be way ahead of them when you've got this to their skill level.
yeah,
It's like here, they can only get to here because they haven't got that burning desire. After 3 minutes of fighting, they're capped out of there. You already can go 5 minutes of fighting, but your skill's not good enough. So they're beating you, but then you're going to get to here. Then they're on there, you're on a completely different level, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the only way you can look at it. You don't need
yeah.
to be the most skillful at anything you do, which
That's
is a
true,
funny
man.
paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
It is. I was even noticing that as well with some people. who I try to rope into, like, my purpose is basically to do all of this for the people around me. And so I take that into, like, as part of my principles. So when I'm not working and I'm making time for my people, I can validate that. I was like, okay, this is part of my everything. I have to listen to what they're going through. I have to help them. I have to help. I have to help. And with that, I'll have like my friends who either don't have a job or they don't have anything, and I'm just like, forcing my stuff onto them, or like giving them like opportunities. Even, what is it? Two of them are applying to join the agency, to work at the agency today. But then what I'm seeing is like that burning desire. It's so hard to teach. It's so hard
Hmm.
to even, like, just to comprehend why it's not there for some people. It's just like, because for me, I attach it to my people. I attach it to the love that you can have for your mother, the love you can have for your father. I attach it to the thing that you can never get rid of. It's just the strongest emotion is what I attach to, which is crazy. That's what Napoleon Hill also always says. He's like, you can't have the faith, you can't have the affirmations and the manifestation without that emotion. You have to look for it. And yeah, yeah, I was just saying that that burning desire in certain folks, not being there is
But you've got that subconsciously from your dad, who was an entrepreneur, and you can only be an entrepreneur if you have a burning desire and a fuel and a need to want to achieve something better and keep growing and keep learning. And that's why being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. But
yeah,
I think that's exactly where you get it from. Without a doubt, that's where you get it from. And the trouble is, I've been in a similar process with friends that you've grown up with, is that you like them because they're friends, because you have similar interests in terms of maybe sport, in terms of what you do every day. But the problem is that they don't have the same burning desire as you. So you're moving away from them slowly. And what
yeah,
happens is that you outgrow your friends. And at some point, it's hard because you've got to leave them behind, but you still care for them and you want to help them. But they don't want to be helped. They don't ask the right questions. They're not willing to put in the work. They only make excuses. And you've got to change the friend group, and that's the hardest
yeah,
thing. Is they always say you are going to be the next person with the five that you hang around with. So you've got five people you hang around with, and you're the fifth person. You're going to become that same person as them. So why not be someone that hangs around with people that have successful businesses, not people that are stuck here? It's great to bring them from here to here, but harder, and it's just going to be something that is very demoralizing because they're your friends and you want to help them, but they don't want to be helped. So it's like
yeah,
you keep them there, but you have to disjoint yourself away. If they don't want to be helped, don't keep wasting your energy on them. Focus your energy on growing and learning and finding new networks here that are going to bring you up to that level, because that's what's going to give you the most gains. And the best thing to do is that hopefully that when they see you here, they're going to see you and be motivated to drive you up there. If they're not motivated to get to where you are, then they're just going to be envious and jealous, and they're not actually friends that you want to hang around with.
yeah. That's true.
But it's a harsh
'Cause
reality, and one which is so difficult to do, because I have the same thing, exactly the same thing. And I think that's the moment you realize that you've outgrown your environment and you need to change your environment and your friend group.
yeah, yeah. I think because I got that as well recently. That's why when I had started, I kind of I removed all communications from things that weren't related to either my girlfriend or me and work, basically, or my family. That was removed all communication. Like, no hanging out with all these different friends, because I just needed to focus, basically. Um, but now I'm like, I think long term I will make it a mission of mine to still do what I can for them, though, because it's easy for me. Ironically, even though I have that, I have the ability to still be cold, in the sense where I choose myself over. Well, not even though it's myself, I can still justify it as it being my family. It being, if I want to help these people, but these people are slowing me down and they're not allowing me to help my people, I can easily just say, you have no place in life, in my area, in anything that involves me. But I think that's a good challenge I'll want to tackle throughout my life, is because that's what
Mhm.
everybody, like, what I see that a lot of entrepreneurs can easily do is just leave those friends behind. But I think that's a nice story or path I want to wave around, is one of those people that still can bring up lift up those people that pull him down. Um yeah,
100%, because you were there
yeah,
once. I agree.
yeah,
It's just timing. It's just
yeah,
timing and a place, to be honest. I'm the same, because I have my goal to help people achieve financial freedom. with no money. So I'm putting courses out there, I'm putting products out there that I'm giving away for free
Yeah.
to help people to try and learn the skills and the knowledge to be able to move away from having a job that they don't enjoy, which is ultimately the worst thing you can ever do, is trade your time for money in a job you're not even enjoying. That's horrible and disgusting, and no one should ever have to do that. So it's a great value, and it's a great thing to have in the background for you to focus on, which is actually what we're going to be talking about in a minute, is your why, what you're doing, your vision, your why. This is the fundamental thing before you do anything else, is to understand why you do what you do. And that's what we're gonna. That's literally my first question, pretty much. And that is what gives you the building blocks to get you where you are. So if you go, I'm going to achieve this up here because I want to then filter it back down into here to everybody else to get them to be here. That's huge. That's giving back to society for a reason and flowing it back in, you know?
Yeah.
Try eating less in one mouthful, maybe. And chew 24 times each time. Each mouthful, 24 times. I don't actually do that. I just know that that's
24
what they
times?
recommend. 24 times, yeah. And then your jaw starts going here, and you're like, Yeah, so session one for me is working out where you are personally and professionally. So it's about me understanding exactly where you are, but that also helps you understand exactly where you are. So I want you to explain to me, and we'll go through in a series of questions exactly where you are now personally, and where you want to go personally, where you are now professionally, and where you want to go professionally. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a personal vision and life strategy for you. So this is not including business. This is just where you want to go, where you want to be, what you want to do in a rough general sense. External goals to business. They do intertwine, but this is where we're going to try and focus out. And what you do is cross them together to create that sort of. This is what actually cultivates a burning desire and your motivation and your determination that makes you turn up every day. So what we start with is your personal vision and life strategy. So what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
The main thing behind why I do what I do now is a quote that I started living by. It's kind of like my own quote, actually. And I heard it in a song a while ago. And when I heard it in the song, something kind of switched inside of me. And then I started repeating the phrase to myself afterwards. And the phrase is basically, I will carry you through hell. And he says it again and again in the song. Like he says, let me carry you through hell. So now it's become somewhat of my mantra now because I think of me suffering, whether it's exercising. Because the way that I started this journey was about a year ago. I started with the cliche 5 a.m., waking up, cold showers, just everything to change myself into the person I wanted to be. I was just like, okay, I gotta just do a lot of hard things that I really dislike. Um, then my goal was to be the best. That was just it, to be the best. People be like, be the best in what? What do you mean? Just to be the best. Now that is somewhat in sync with my goal of what I will carry you through hell means. It's more so because I know now that if I'm suffering, if I'm working hard, if I'm not sleeping, that means that my girlfriend won't have to. That means my mother won't have to. That means my dad won't have to. It means my brother and sister won't have to. It means that I'm the one who's walking through this, and they're on my back, safe from all of this nonsense. They're the ones that are fine and don't have to go through this. And this can expand towards everything as well. Here where I live, there's a lot of beggars. There's a lot of poor people. There's a lot of people who. There's a lot of poverty everywhere. Forget even just beggars, just everywhere. Um, it stems onto that. The people that don't really have, they don't deserve to walk through all of this stuff. Um, that is literally my purpose, and it gives me an edge a lot of people don't have. Because before this, I used to be a very very nihilistic person. I somewhat am, but having this purpose has come somewhat combined me with being nihilistic because I don't care for me or my stuff that like selfish tasks, selfish things that are just like that any normal person can have, right? Whether it's, oh, I want to live a good life. I don't have any of that. My good life is to see my mom with teeth in her mouth in a nice house, living normally, where she doesn't have to do things she doesn't want to do, or that for my father, or that for my brother and sister. Um, and from that point, I think once I reach that goal, which I will reach very soon, um, from there on, I think it's then to spread that out further and further. I think lifelong it'll reach some bizarre numbers, like helping at least 1 billion people to reach that stage, and that is something that I can keep with me very, very long term, and it's something that like is endless fire. But now I'm realizing I now have to kind of take care of my body and my mind in order to actually make that happen. Like I was thinking about, because when I had this sparring session with this coach, uh, and so many times, so many things could have happened that would have just like ruined me. I could have got my tongue bit off. I really injured my tongue because he kicked me here, and like I just bit my tongue. And I had this dream right afterwards. I've been dreaming actively about the events that happened. Like this morning, I was dreaming about your content. So this, like, my mind has just become so in tune with all of this stuff that's happening, and I was just dreaming that I could have bit my tongue off and now no longer be able to talk, and I'll just be like, bro, that would be really hard to do everything I'm trying to do without being able to talk. I was realizing it's actually very important to now make sure this tool that is my body that I'm blessed to have can actually do
Yeah,
this. But yeah, that's my why.
it's
That's my
powerful.
main why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an amazing why. And actually, most people I ask that don't have a clue that what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing, and how they're doing what they're doing. So having that baseline there as that, which is amazing and kind of similar to what I have,
Yeah.
especially putting your family first, trying to focus on helping them to live better lives, ones that they deserve, as well as the other people who are suffering. So yeah, well done for that. That's very inspirational.
Yeah.
So hold on to that. Hold on to that. That's like a your own mission statement. That should be on the wall. Something that you
It
look at
is.
every day that drives it home.
It
Okay, there
is.
you go.
It's awesome. That's why I keep looking there. It's because I look at it. It's there every morning. In
Nice, love that.
a lot of my walls are drawn on. I don't know if you can even see behind there, so it's just there, right there.
Yeah, you can kind of see.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and then let's go from that. So that's what you want. Really, why you're doing what you're doing. What is your ideal? What does your ideal life look like in the future where you've got everything that you want? So what's your standard day or your standard week? What do you have? Where are you? What are you doing? What do you want to earn? These sort of metrics.
Yeah. I think a lot of money is something I want to have. A lot, like an absurd amount, simply so that I'm not limited by the boundaries that limit a lot of different people. So just to be able to have that pure freedom, not just like, oh, location time, just freedom to be able to almost do whatever it is that I want, so that then something happens, can fix the problem, or just simply just because if I have the ability to do that, why wouldn't I go all the way above to do that? That, I guess, in like an ideal mindset, I still have a lot of, I guess you could say, what are those selfish desires, which is I like the idea of traveling. I like the idea of going to places I've never been, if it's in the mountains or somewhere in Japan, or that type of stuff is something I would like to experience. But more so, the money side of things, I want to be in a place where I have a lot of money. I want to be in a place where I'm still with the girlfriend I'm with now. Her name is Kayla. We've been together 2.5 years now, and and yeah, she's helped me a lot through many different things, and even us still being together is due to my tenacity of saying, like, because in the whole business space, everybody's always like, they're just so toxic when it comes to relationships. That is the perfect word for it. They're very, very against relationships and very against you having um anything to do in the relationship, because I never see super, super successful people, at least now, like on the online space. So now I see a lot more, like I see you, and I see it more often where the people who actually know what they're talking about do respect that. But yeah, that was something that I was just like, no. Because I started thinking, I was just like, how am I gonna maintain a relationship alongside this?
Yeah.
But that question, I have, because this is something that happens in my head where if I see something that can't be done, I just have the urge to do it, to just be like, why can't, like, I'm just stubborn like that, very, very stubborn, which is why I did 15 rounds with the coach. We did 10, and when we did 10, he's like, you want to, like, are you done? And I was just like, no, I'm not. Let's continue. And then we just did more. Um, but more so, I just have that thing that pushes me to do the thing that my body doesn't want to do or that I'm not supposed to do. And so, yeah, being in a relationship with her at that stage, still her, just to be like, we have this crazy accomplishment that we did this and made it through this far as well, which is Lily. We almost broke up in December. I went and read Men Are From Mars, applied everything. I used Think and Grow Rich's tactics of affirmations, and I added her to my mission statement. Until now, it's still on the wall. She has her own paper on the wall too, and the future is to be with her, even though for whatever reason, whatever happens, where there's a circumstance where I'm not with her, I'll still fulfill my purpose to still care for the people who I am with. However, if I have the freedom to choose my circumstance, I will choose to still be with her. Therefore, it is my choice to still be with her at that point. But yeah, that is, I think, where I want to be at that point, where I can have a lot of money, have a lot of freedom, have a lot of genuine great experiences, and just live in the now as well. Just enjoy those things for what they are. Because at the end of the day, my nihilism still kicks in. I'm just like, though if I don't reach, I don't really care because it doesn't matter. But then the other part of me kicks in is like, well, if it doesn't matter, then you should care. And then it's just like
I hate
ultimate
that paradox. I do it all the time. I stare into space and I'm looking up and I'm like, so we're spinning around on a little rock in the middle of the galaxy, which is galaxies in the universe, and then the universe is ever expanding and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but we don't know how it's getting bigger. And we're just stuck here doing this day-to-day stuff like a little fucking ant in the middle of nowhere. So what's the point? What is the point of being here? I might go do some heroin and get wasted. And then you're like, no, but there is a purpose to life. There is a purpose, and you should be here with a mission to help people to do something, because you're going to have kids one day, and they're going to look up to you, and they're going to go, "My dad was a heroin addict." And you're going to go, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh god.
So basically, you want an abundant, like an absurd amount of money, which I can see why to a certain extent. To have the freedom, as much freedom as you can, to go where you want, do what you want, just to be able to go. If I want to buy someone a house, I'm going to buy someone a house. If I want to do this, I want to do this. It's just giving yourself the option to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Also seems
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a good thing to have. It's not necessarily being focused around money, which is why a lot of people are, and which is why this is good, because there's purpose behind it, there's reason behind it, and it's not fixated to a monetary amount. Where people are like, I want to be a billionaire, I want to be a millionaire, and it's like, why? Why do you actually want to be a millionaire? If you go, I want to be a millionaire so I can donate 500,000 to charity, I want to help these people, I want to do this, I want to do that, awesome. But most people are like, just, I want to be a millionaire. And you're like, yeah, you're gay. So, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm trying to remain serious. Do you have like a timeline where you're at, where you want to be? Kind of like, because as they all talk about, I think it's like, if you write something down on paper, you're 65% more likely for it to happen. If you're more specific about your goals, you write it down on paper and you read it every day, you're then X amount more likely to achieve your goals. So it's about having this down and having a rough timeline and reading it every day and believing it and feeling it, the manifestation part of it. So this is the vision, the mission, the thing that you are honing your subconscious to on a daily level. When you're waking, when you're going to sleep, you're visualizing, you're feeling it, you're believing it. This is fundamentally what gets you through all of the business, all of the shit training, all of that on the side, because you want to become the person that is this. You want to be that inspiration. You want to have that legacy. You want to have people look up to you and go, he fucking did this, because that's amazing. And that's the only way you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Time frame. Once I picked up Think and Grow Rich was when I made my first goal for my time frame. I think it was when I first saw that I could make money as a video editor, which was ironically just in October. It was recently. Um, I did that in October, and then in November, I discovered online business, and then December I went to a free course, and then January I started the agency. And it's crazy how fast those things change. Because of that
Thanks,
timeline,
sir.
in yeah, by January 16th, I even remembered in my head. What was it? January 16th, I will get $5,000 with my agency. I didn't sign a client till March, but that was a solid goal that I had in January. It was I read it two 2 months prior, every single day, every night, the mission statement. But right now, I have been now thinking more like ahead. Ironically, because the amount of money that I earn, um, somewhat connects directly with how far I am towards like reaching these goals. Because a lot of it depends on the money that I do get. Um, so my goal for April was to get in a very, very solid position where after this month, because of the way the currencies convert here and because of the way an agency works, all you need is a couple of clients and you're actually really good. So my goal with this month was to take care of everything at home, whether it's bills, payments, emergencies, whatever it is, just be able to just put, okay, $1,000 here, you're fine. I think that's like way above even minimum wage, but just to have that there so that then essentially in the summer I move out because right now I'm living with my mother. I'm living with my auntie, my mom and my auntie. This is their house. Their father basically gave them this house because they're twins, and yeah, yeah. Because I used to live with my father, and then when they split up, I live here, and I used to visit my father and his children every now and then. But basically, the goal was then by around summer to then move out and then fully scale all of this really to the maximum past 50K. Um, and then after that point was then to kind of cruise for a bit because I had a plan for next year basically to start to go to the UK because essentially my I have this mastermind group with two of my well now it's actually three of us. Well, it's four of us and then three of them. But basically at the start of this journey last year, me and my best friend Jara, who we used to share a sense of nihilistic purposelessness, and we used to be like, "What is the point of everything?" And he went to university, and he was just drinking and playing video games, and I was here, just also playing video games and trying to be a YouTuber. Um, we kind of reached this point where we're just like, "Yo, we want to change up a lot of what we're doing," and so I think it was him who brought it up. He's like, let's start doing journal entries every single day to hold ourselves accountable. So that was to I think our first goals were just to stop masturbating, to stop to start working out. What was it? It was some stuff like that. That was literally how down yeah, his was he wanted to stop smoking. I think mine was remember it's basically that started everything. That just started everything and we did those daily entries. And then around August, he brought in another friend of ours who was a childhood friend. I joined him in kindergarten, known him since kindergarten, and he's just been one of those people you see in school that works so hard for no reason. And in school, you kind of you hate those people, but basically, he brought him in, and because he's the one of the only people who his dad is basically a full blown entrepreneur, and he really loves business, and he's like insanely smart, but he has the entrepreneur side where he really likes the entrepreneur, but he's a serious academic too. But he really has insane work ethic. He does taekwondo. He's like a black belt as well. He's actually joined the Ugandan team, national team for Olympics too. So, but he's almost 2 years younger than me.
Oh
He's
shit!
like a year and a half younger than me. Yeah,
You're
and he's
slacking,
really like,
man. Fucking sort it out.
yeah, man. It was really crazy. So he joined that, and then we made this group chat where we do it with each other, where we have the daily entries. And then I read Atomic Habits, and then we added habit trackers. So we all use like a tick emoji or an X emoji for things we haven't done. I have about like just my usual stuff with it. I think I change it every month now because things evolve very fast. But right now, that's what. If it wasn't for, I wouldn't also be here if it weren't for those guys as well. Um, so the reason I mentioned that, basically, Jaira, the first friend who got me into, who the first one when we started all of this, basically, he lives in the UK, and my plan was, well, because my girlfriend is also going to be doing university in the UK too. I was like, okay, and I, because I also had the plan to just have a good 1 to 2 years where I live with Jaira, and every day we go through everything together. We push forward with this unit mastermind every single day, holding each other accountable. He does some like crazy powerlifting stuff. He's obsessing with in the gym. I'm gonna force him to do Muay Thai, but things like that, where basically you live together for a certain amount of time and really, really push everything to the maximum, like focused mastermind. So the goal is to do that about next year, and then to live in Uganda for a bit. By that point, monetarily, um, also that's going to be scaling this agency to be as huge as possible, so it can actually, I think by that point it'll be way past 100K a month. um because as well, I don't have any plans on selling it early. I think I'll stay with it for at least maybe 5 years, because of my background and my skill set, being somebody who knows how to really make that work. I can really do it well. And because it's of also that market is really, 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 really serious market. But that is the time frame I have in my head, um to do that, basically. Yeah, I
So,
thought about the goals in April, but yeah, that's it.
so you need to first thing that, like, yeah, amazing. That's like there's some really really good goals in there, and some ambitious ones, which are exactly what you want. Because there's no point having small goals, because if you have a small goal, it's easy to achieve. If you have a big goal and you don't achieve it, you're going to be 10
You
times
still go
further
far
on than you are than if you have the
with a
small goals.
small
That's
goal.
why there's so much magic in thinking big, as you know. So aim high. Aim high. If you don't make it, it doesn't matter. You're going to be higher than everybody else. So amazing. But don't have it in your head. Get it on paper. It's not a goal until it's on paper. It's just a dream. If you don't have that on paper and you don't have it as like your desktop background, this is my timeline. I could show you mine and what it's got on my desktop background. So it's got 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. They're my focus goals. That's exactly what I want to achieve from here. And then on
Mm,
this side, I've got 1 year, 3 to 5 years. Then I've got 5 to 10 years, and then I've got longer. And these are fixed. These are variable. And as you go through and you grow, these slightly change and adapt, but they are fundamentally what you want to
mm,
achieve. But these are the ones that help you stay accountable, and you can celebrate the wins as you go. Have to get them
yeah.
down on paper. That's your number one thing. Get that down on paper. Personal goals specifically, and then within that, which we'll talk about now, is business goals, which is why you have to have a business plan. Do you have a business plan?
Not really.
Yeah, and that's the exact answer I get from most people. And it's like, I'm not saying have a 20-page business plan where it goes through different fucking pie charts and all sorts of line graphs and anything like that. I'm saying they're great if you want to go down that route, but these aren't the type of businesses that you need to do that. All you need is 1 to 3 pages of focused, a complete outline of what problem your business is solving. What is your business? How are you doing it? And what way are you going to be doing it? So for me, it would be, my business is helping solopreneurs double their profits, double their revenues, and spend less time in the business, all while feeling their best and looking their best. So that's my number one goal. That's the business there. And how am I going to achieve it? How am I going to market? How am I going to sell it? And just being roughly having that out on a piece of paper, so it's a nice
Mm,
guideline.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you want to be looking at a timeline of a year, and then you write down exactly where you want to be and how you're going to do it from that year. So at least you have something down on paper, roughly, so you see in your mind the steps that it is going to take to get there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the part of like Think and Grow Rich and the power of awareness and all of this manifesting, is that you manifest the end part. So you're really visualizing you having already fulfilled that dream. So that dream is now the present reality. And that's the key. And it normally fills in the gaps there. So they don't actually matter too much, but you've just got to have something down on paper. Like that's, don't have it in your head. Really do not have it in your head.
Yeah.
It's good because you're still ahead of a lot of people who have something in their head, which is good, but get it on paper.
Yeah.
Definitely get it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you a
I've done it.
structure for a rough business plan. I can give you like a template and a structure.
Sure, sure, yeah. Because I have like, I'm aware of like basically the business plan, but because I think now with these goals now that are like solidified, need to earn this money by summer and then by the end of the year, that type of stuff. I think for the business it's gonna be really good because each month, I have somewhat of a because of how fast everything has changed. Each month, the monthly statement and the income I want to earn just like doubles each month. Like now it was at 15K a month. Now we pretty much hit that. Now it's gonna go to 50. But now I think I need to look at it much more longer term too, and stop doing that as well because each month it's annoying. I have to write a whole new statement for that month, but everything relatively stays the same. But for the business plan, um, I had written it down a very long time ago, but I think I now need to. It's the perfect time to really get it all written down
Hmm.
properly on paper.
Business plans
Yeah,
are rolling plans. Like they're not. It's like anything, isn't it? It's like saying I'm going to go to the gym. Use another gym analogy. I'm going to go to the gym, and the one that you used, that you started the first going to the gym, is this, and I'm going to do that for 10 years. You're not going to do that for 10
yeah,
years. You
no,
adapt and you change as you go, or you go, okay, my chest is a bit weak. I'm going to adapt my plan to my chest being enhanced more. And it's like
yeah.
anything. Just have it flexible, and that's the main thing with business, is being flexible to adapt to an environment or to a different goal that you want to achieve.
Mm,
So it doesn't have to be really, really specific. And as you know, things change a lot. Online, things are crazy, things are
especially,
different,
yeah.
revenues go up, everything. So it's just having something that you come back to every 3 months, or you come back to once a month. It's just that you
Yeah.
review. Okay?
So then I think like it's good to have a really really big one long term and then the short ones that you change
Yeah,
monthly because that's been
which
working
is
well for me as well and it keeps me really focused to those results too because you read the month every single day. I even did this, I think it was for February. I counted down every single day and reading out loud and like crossing out, okay, I have 26 days or I have 15 days left, 14 days left until even I remember I had 1 day left and it just felt so real, but I lived every single day and it really helps you um
mhm. It's
like not
focus,
lose sight of.
attention.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the same with daily. Anything that you see daily is going to massively change your subconscious mind and keep you directed and focused on that. Because anything that your attention focuses on and you attach an emotion to it, your subconscious mind will then start working towards it to attain it. And that's the key. It's
yeah,
just daily doing anything daily. So have your personal things on paper. Have a 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and then 3 to 5 years and a 10 years, and then do exactly the same for your business and write them down. And then what you can do is mix the two together. And that's what I've
yeah.
done. I've just compiled them
Me
into
too.
your main points and compiled them together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think
But
I'll put that on
you don't
the.
just have personal and business goals. You should have some health goals on there, spiritual goals, success goals, like things like that as well. Like just a couple of them,
Mm,
because I think a lot of people get fixated on a monetary goal when actually it's not just about the money, because you need to become happy within that time as well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the point of optimizing your mind and your body. It's not just a financial side of it. To get there, you really need to optimize your mind and your body to be able to achieve the success in the first place, which also means that
yeah,
you've got to progress as a person and become a better person as well. So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
harder goals,
Because
aren't
right
they?
now,
Like it might be like spend 30 minutes completely present doing this per day. Spend 1 hour, and that would be the progression. 1 hour sitting in a chair, looking into the garden, not doing anything, no stimulation, nothing for 1 hour a day, or whatever it is.
would you recommend that just sitting in a garden, an hour, no
Hundred
stimulation?
percent,
What does that?
100%. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the garden. It's just no stimulation, zero stimulation, and just sitting still and not necessarily staring, you're just looking around and you can start appreciating, being grateful for everything that's there, but just letting your mind think, letting your
Yeah,
mind go and think,
love.
because there's so much time where your mind's stimulated by phones, by music, by podcasts, by audios, by anything that's going on, that your mind doesn't have time to just sit and go through the stuff that it needs to go through. And that's why
Yeah,
you get this classic thing where you're feeling stressed out and your mind's full, and all that is overstimulation. So it's like decompressing and then going through the thoughts. Like I like to sit there and go, okay, I have no thoughts right now. I'm going to wait until my first thought comes and then see what it is. So it comes to me and I'm like, it might be a business thing. I'll be like, okay, do I need to address that right now? Is it a problem? Is it a concern? I'm like, no. Okay, I'm going to push that to the side. And then the next thought comes.
Yeah.
And it might be 20 seconds between that being completely present. But in that completely present 20 seconds, it's amazing. Like the feeling of being present is you can't describe it. It's like everything's greener, everything's brighter because there's no worries. That's all that actually exists. It's that moment, right now. But yeah, an hour a day minimum, to be honest. It's like critical thinking. I think Einstein and a lot of scientists.
That's not too
used to
much.
go,
Minimum?
I would just start. Well, if you're not doing it, start with half an hour. If you're struggling, start with 15 minutes. It's like meditating.
No.
But
Yeah.
I like to segregate meditating is either you're going to be really thinking about a problem and solving it within the meditation, or you're going to be just living purely in the present and shutting all your thoughts aside. And I think both are very powerful.
Mm. Yeah. No,
but yeah,
that's really good.
should
I
be
think as an
goals.
entrepreneur, I think that's also very, 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 very helpful. It's what even that guy talks about in that first course I went through. And he talked about the power of you having to be able to think, just to sit and just not do anything as an entrepreneur. As you said, the CEO, that is what you have to do, is not the doing and not that stuff. And that's also where a lot of my great ideas and my great solutions come from. Like you look at Andre, he doesn't do a lot of running around at all. He's actually a really, really good. It's a better entrepreneur than I am at this point because he's good at doing this. He's good at just sitting and reading and just thinking and just coming up with things. And yeah, I think also just to organize those thoughts, my thoughts have just been the fact that I'm dreaming about like
Dreams
your
exactly come
content.
from exactly what you're thinking about in the last 2 hours of the day subconsciously.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. What you're doing is not filling your brain with the right stuff to go to sleep with. So especially with manifesting, what you want to do is read a bit about manifesting, visualizing, whatever it is, and then before you're going to sleep, visualizing it completely and absorbing all of your thoughts to that dream, to that, and just imagining it as if you are already in and living that situation. Don't be there thinking about your work day or thinking about, because that's what you're dreaming about. And often
keep combining
what people watch on TV or like videos and stuff.
Yeah, I imagine.
And then they have nightmares.
I always like, because these guys, my mom and my aunt, they really like watching K-dramas, which is just Korean shows. The thing is, the house isn't huge. It's just like right against this wall. So I'm just like asleep like this. Cause I sleep on my back. So I'm just like this, just listening to the K-drama stuff. But it helps a bit when I realize I'm like, oh, these are the people that I'm doing all of this for. So it's just like,
yeah,
I like seeing that. I like seeing my people not doing the most amazing productive things. I'm just like, yeah, enjoy yourself. Enjoy eating this stupid food. Enjoy like watching a bunch of nonsense. Like, because I'm not going to. I'm gonna do it for you. So that you can enjoy it. You can do that stuff. But let me get a better pen somehow.
it's fucking ironic, isn't it? Like, why are they even enjoying it when they know it makes them feel shit? Where does that come from? How does that even work? I'm going to eat this donut, and then afterwards I'm going to feel guilty and shit. How exactly is that a good idea? But you still want to eat the donut, don't you? So it's like, I could eat a salad and feel good, energetic, and fresh. But salads are boring. I don't want a salad. I want to eat a donut.
That's gonna be a short.
Salad or donut? Yeah, for me, it sounds like you've got so much in your head and a lot going on that it actually is causing somewhat subconscious stress. Not necessarily noticeable, but just in the background. And I can suffer from the same thing and has done before. So just about getting things on paper, get things down, get it out of your mind, throw it down into Notion templates, whatever it is, just write it, get it out, take your time away from it. And just so this is your vision, you know that, you trust the process, you're building on it. This is your business plan, it's there, I don't need to worry about it, it's happening, it's working, we're going towards it. This is my daily task, which I'm working on now. What do I need to think about other than that? I don't need to worry myself with it, other than when you allocate the time to specifically go through your mind about what it's thinking about. Other than that, especially when you're at the gym or you're with your girlfriend or you're walking or whatever, tell your brain, no, I'm not having it. I'm not listening to this shit. I'm going to enjoy this moment. I don't know if you've read Chimp. I think it's called the Chimp Paradox, or but it's basically the idea is that you're living in your head with a chimp, and the chimp is the bad person. You're the good person, and it's always in the back of your mind, going like, "Why didn't you eat that donut? Why don't you lie on your bed longer?" You know, all of these things that you don't want to hear, and it's in the back of your mind constantly, and you're battling it, going, "No, but I should eat that salad. No, but I should go and do a workout. No, but I want to do this," and then it's just fighting good against evil constantly, and once you understand that it is just a chimp, they just like comfort. They're not in it to help you. They just want comfort. They want the easy route. They want that, and that's how people get comfortable. You want to realize that you're here, and he's there, and you're going in different directions. It's weird because you are not your mind. You are not your body. When you realize you are not your mind, and you realize there's a chimp in your mind, you probably sound utterly mental, but you're not mental. It's just I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. You know what I mean, though. You are not your thoughts. You don't necessarily have to just take what you're thinking as the first thing. So for me, like I'll be walking down the beach and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about that. Don't think about that. Think about how amazing this place is. Enjoy the present moment. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Take away from it. Don't burn yourself out. That's the mental exhaustion is much worse than physical exhaustion. Don't tell somebody who's digging a hole for a living that my job's harder than yours because I sit at a laptop all day, because they'll probably hit you with their fucking spade. But the point is it really is a lot harder doing mental work than it is physical work, because you're working everything.
Yeah. That's even what I was thinking the other day, was how easy it was to push myself to go to 15 rounds in Muay Thai, and how easy it is because it's just you just do it. You know, you just do it and you push against the boundary telling you not to, and that's it. Whereas because I was talking with these guys, we have this call every week with the guys in that group chat that I was telling you about, the mastermind, and I was telling them about my week, and I was like, I was having trouble executing, and they're like, why were you having trouble executing? And I was like, well, there's so much that goes into it, but basically it's just, you know, the not focusing, the not doing the right task, the not getting the thing done, they're not this, and it was like, why is it so hard to do that? But when physically it's the easiest thing to do. It's so easy to do 1,000,000 push-ups. If you tell yourself just do 1,000,000 push-ups, the struggle would then just be, you know, getting it down to 1,000,000, of course, but it's just that. Whereas with especially now, man, every morning I wake up, there's just so much nonsense to fix, but it's gone down a lot though with them. But I think I justify those thoughts by thinking, since they're coming from somewhere, I think if I come up with a solution, they'll go away. I think that's where I'm at with that, is that I'm like, okay, this thing is here. That means I have to fix this. Okay, now how do I fix this? And then, you know, I have like this many of those things to do and to fix. But then,
why do you think thinking will fix it?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
As I was going to say earlier, is to solve problems, some of the best scientists in the world, including Albert Einstein, used to visualize the problem in his head and then go and sit in a dark room for 2 hours without thinking about anything, and the problem would be solved. So by not thinking, you're allowing your subconscious mind to think, which solves the problem subconsciously, which then feeds your conscious mind, which is why the times that you're not focusing on stuff and you're living in the present moment are actually the most productive times. You know why you're in the shower and you're like, and then all of a sudden something comes to you? That's because your subconscious mind has just fed your conscious mind exactly what you needed to hear. Which is why it's like AI in your back of your head. It's working for you constantly. It is, and it's what a lot of people don't realize, is that if you give it the right prompts, you're going to get the right results. But people are giving it the wrong prompts, and that's giving everybody bad results. And that's what you need to utilize more. Understand that. Give yourself that thinking time, and then you're not thinking time, and then you can start really solving the powerful equations and the problems. They're like like shit that they were solving is a lot harder than how am I going to get this done? How am I going to get that done? They're solving fucking quantum physics, quantum mechanics, which is by not thinking. Get that around your head.
Now, your question has now really thrown me off, which is why do you think thinking will solve the problem?
It's a good question, right?
Because
If you understand.
It won't. It doesn't. That's why it's still there. Is why the problem is still there, because it's not solving.
So like my thing would be, okay, this is a focus meditation. I'm going to write in front of me my problem on a piece of paper, okay? And then that's there. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to spend the next hour sat doing nothing and just close my eyes. And just sit there until it comes. Don't think about anything. Any thought that comes, you push it aside and go, no, I don't want to hear you right now. Push it aside, push it aside, push it aside until the problem is solved. It might take a few sessions, but it'll be solved for sure. Test it out, see what you think. It'd be interesting to see if it works for you, because it's worked for me many times.
Yeah, it's talked about it in I think it was in Mind Principle in Think and Go Rich. It was where he talked about that, where he would sit for 2 hours, or he would basically sit in a dark room with nothing but just pen and this for like 2 hours, and then every time they'd come, he would write it down, and he'd go back to just sitting like that.
Same sleeping, because your subconscious mind works when you're sleeping. Always sleep with a pen and paper next to your bed, because you wake up. Write it down straight away, because you'll forget it again, because your subconscious mind.
Yeah, that's what I've started doing. Is like, I remember in the morning, Elijah, personal assistant, he was like, Ethan, would you like me to make this document? I was like, what is he talking about? When did I tell him to do this? And I remembered right before I went to sleep, I had the idea and my phone was on my bed, and I picked and I sent him a voice note saying, can you make a Notion document about something? It was like an announcement for clients to join a single Discord, which is what I did. But like, it all just came in that moment. Basically, like, I want now all the clients to be in the Discord, all of the clients, not just like you and like one other person. Basically all the clients to be in the Discord, where they can then communicate with the team and me. But this is much better, therefore they don't have to tell me, and then I tell the team. They just send a message there, and I'm like this, but then I can see what's going on, and it's so much better. But yeah, that idea came from like me half asleep, and then I sent Elijah a voice note, and I was like,
there's so many things like that with systems within a business that can be improved instantly. The idea is to remove. How can you remove yourself from your business and it's that idea that you think about that allows you to scale at a much higher rate?
Yeah, it really is that thinking or lack of thinking, or thinking correctly, maybe we should call it.
It's just direction, and ultimately having the plans down and written down, which is why we go through this so much now, is that you can apply yourself to that and go, okay, I need to scale from 10K to 20K in 2 months. How am I going to do that? I need to remove myself from these tasks where I'm wasting 30 minutes a day replying or being the middleman, and I'm going to focus on these highest ROI tasks. And it's that gives you the fundamentals. That's the analysis you need, which is why you have to have those goalposts. There's no point going, okay, I'm at 15K and I'm going to be at 100K next year. How?
Without.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know you're going to get there. I totally believe you're going to get there. But you still need to think about some fundamentals of how you're going to achieve that, and put in place some analytics to do it, rather than just going, okay, I've got to get to 100K, I've got to get to 100K. Break it down. Break it down into sections, you know? People don't run a marathon, which is 26.4 miles or whatever it is, and go, oh yeah, I've got to run 26.4 miles. I used to do CrossFit, and it would be like, okay, you got 1,000 burpees. You're like, 1,000 fucking burpees. No, okay, I'm going to do 10 sets of 100. That's a lot easier. Or I'm going to do, I'm going to do 100 sets of 10.
Yeah, that's true. That is a lot
easier. Yeah? It's just, and I would be killing. I couldn't even do anything. Hypertrophies are like horrendous. It would be like, I don't know. And some of the workouts, it would just be utterly horrific. And you just have to, even at the end of it, I'll be breaking it down into sets of one. I can only do one rep at a time, and it would be horrific. I'm like, I don't mind. I'm just doing it in one rep. So I'm not going to think past that one rep. One rep. Okay, that was fucking awful. One more rep. Okay, that's awful. One more rep. And it gets you to the end result by solving that problem. It's a long-winded way around saying it, but you need to have everything down on paper. So personally, get everything down on paper. This is you sound pretty clear on that. That's amazing. So and you've got most of that down, but just have it down, have it available, read it daily. That's your motivation. That's your drive. That's what's going to get you there. That's what's going to get you and allow you to do all the things that you want to do. Business plan. That's more specific. That have to be. This is where we are. This is where we want to be. This is 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 1 year, 5 year, and just keep it adaptable. Call it a working document more than a business plan. A business plan is historically always been, okay, I'm going to create a business plan, then I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to apply for a business loan. They need a 30-page fucking document full of bullshit that's going to go, I'm going to give you this loan for whatever it is. And it's a load of shit, really. The only thing you really need to know in a business plan is there a market? Do you have a good product or service? Can you sell it? Is it scalable? And how much money are you going to need to start it? They're just fundamental questions that you need. And once you've already started, there's a massive market, there's massive demand. You're in an amazing space that's only going to keep growing. So therefore, scalability is huge, massive for you. So in terms of what you've got set already, it's great. It's just about knocking through those milestones and taking yourself out of those shit tasks and creating the systems to scale you there. That's going to be easy because you've already got everything pretty much in place and a great team you've got building. The next bit's fucking a lot easier than the first bit. You've done all the hard work. Don't need to stretch yourself too much. You need to almost, like you say, take a step back and go, okay, right, we've got this coming in. This is my plan of where I want to go. I'm just going to purely think about how I'm going to take myself out or how I'm going to scale. And for me, you can run me through every element of your business. And that's where we'll get to. And I'll tell you how you can scale it or remove yourself, but only because I've been there and I've done it. And because I'm offering a different perspective. And you could probably do it with someone else's business. If you were to go to another agency and look at someone else's business and analyze it, it's easier to see what you can do is your own business, which is why you often have to put yourself in the shoes of somebody else, which is exactly like with a product, isn't it? What you do to do the market research, you go, okay, I've got to put my mind in the idea of their emotions, their pain problems, their stuff. You've got to do that with your business.
Yeah. So you want me to break down every component aspect, everything of the business, basically?
We won't do that today, but that's what I want to get to. For me, okay, tell me exactly what is the biggest thing that you would like to get from me from this mentorship? Like, what is the number one thing that you would like to see? Number one result?
It's just having my things in order where I can feel my best so that I can work the best and have the outcome be the best, where the tasks are being properly executed, where things are in place, where systems are in order, where the right things are coming out of circumstances, where scalability is happening because the right things are being done, where I'm not overburdened by so many tasks, where I'm not where I've just learned what it is that I'm missing or that I'm fumbling with currently. Just
let me write them down. So like systemization, optimizing, systems and processes.
Yeah.
Outsourcing and delegating.
Yeah. Also, my onboarding process for clients is almost non-existent. It's so terrible.
What do you use right now?
There's nothing. I just say, hop on a call. Here's the Notion. Send me a Discord. That's the process. That's literally the entire process of the onboarding. But I would prefer to have like more systemized, more where they receive this thing. Okay, now they get an email with like a short summary, or like this gets sent to Notion, or a process as well where that can happen where it's not me manually doing it too, especially now because we have Varun who's going to be doing the sales. I won't be able to manually do that stuff too. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
easy to do. You need to implement a few things as well, especially as you're scaling, like contracts,
yes,
client contracts, um, general, a few different documents that you'll put in that are just giving you security as well. Because it's not just
yeah,
about the scaling; it's about removing issues in the future for you and your clients, and saving yourself a lot of fucking shit.
yeah, yeah. We're doing the client contracts, but even now, I just realized I never gave you a contract too. Never sent that over. Um, but I actually really will need one for the people on the team too, especially if I'm opening communications between the
Mhm.
editors and the people there. Something that's like, hey, you can't steal our talent and then run away from the contract or something like that too. Um, I want to get that sorted as well.
Exactly.
Um,
So
yeah,
just look at it as if it's, for me, it's easy to use an analogy in a restaurant or a hotel because I've done it. You're not going to employ people there without a contract. You're not going to employ people there without a terms of operating or business rules or how we operate and having company values. These are our values. This is how we want to operate. This is how we want you to portray yourself in terms of in front of the clients, in the group chats, in this. And it's going through everything. It sounds anal, but it's about having everybody that you have being consistent with your values and who you are. And that's what builds a brand and that's what builds a business and creates who you like, that amazing image that gets you that 100K a month. Because it's not just what you're doing, it's about how powerful your brand is. And also, when it comes to selling it, if you've got a brand that is powerful, well known, has all these things in place, it's so much more valuable.
yeah,
So basically, the idea of what me and Andre have been working on as my offer is to work less and earn more.
yeah,
Like, yeah, and like how many? We were thinking of structuring is like basically the idea is to double your net profits because
yeah,
everyone focuses on revenue and it really winds me up. Revenue is just your income. Your income has no direct correlation to how much you actually earn. You could be bringing in £20,000, but you're spending £20,000. Why do I want to know that? What I want to know is your net profit and your profit margin percentage, because otherwise that's not a logical business. So number one for me, for you, is to set your finances up amazingly well and to have all
mm,
of these figures coming in. So you've got expenses coming in, you know exactly what your gross profit is, you know what your net profit is, and you're understanding what a financial statement is and a profit and loss. Because you need to know that for your business, to grow businesses, to start businesses. You need
yeah.
to know it for your tax if you move to a country and everything like that. And it's just good practice. To learn it at your age is crazy. Very good. Many people won't even know that. But this for your personal finances and your business finances. So we'll do a full session on that, and I can help you structure your finances. And that'd be really good. It's like it gives a lot of value to people because people start businesses, but they don't even know how to structure their own finances. If I was to go to you, okay, last month, what was your revenue exactly?
Yeah, I'd have to look at the bank statement to find out somehow.
Wrong answer. If it was me, I could tell you exactly each month the last, well, off my head because I love figures, but not everyone loves figures, which is why
Yeah,
you need to
yeah,
outsource the shit that you don't like and you don't enjoy to people who like figures and focus on your own
yeah,
shit. But once you've got it set up, it's much easier to do. I think even AI, you'll just be like, there's a chat box and be like, okay, my expenses, just throw in that they were £16 today. £18 tomorrow, and it will keep pumping it into a spreadsheet for you. I'm yet to look at the automating process, but I think I could set that up for you quite easily. That'd be
that'd
cool.
be that'd be really cool. Yeah, because what is it? The guy who does thumbnails and he's like an operations manager. He's actually like he's been in university studying as an accountant, and so he's basically. I was like, oh, okay, and he was like, would you like me to run you through your numbers? Did I tell you the story about how we found out I spent about $200 worth of bonuses, only in bonuses of even people that were fired? And he told me that he was like, you have to stop giving people bonuses, and because like he was like the paycheck you're supposed to send him $300, or it was like he's supposed to send him $350. Why does it show you sent $380? And I said, well, it was for his like withdrawal fee, and then also like a bonus, just Yeah, it's just like having him helped a lot of those things, but I want to also get him in one position where he's not doing the accounting stuff only. But yeah, I really want to run through the numbers too, because we do all payments on the 28th, and it is the 24th. Oh, we
Mhm.
can do that like in another session or whatever. But this is
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's all easy. Finance is actually my speciality, but minus the mind, the body, all the shit. Finance is my shit. Like I love finance and figures and spreadsheets and automation and gross profit margins, net profit. I like in a business. That's exactly what I want to hear. And like I don't care about anything else. For me,
yeah,
it's like that's as I was going back to earlier. Is it's not about the revenue; it's about the net profit. So I want to know that your profit is earning, your net profit is earning this. So we're going to structure the offer around doubling your net profit, not doubling your revenue, doubling your net profit for future clients.
yeah.
So if I could go, I'm not sure how, maybe I'll send you it in a bit because maybe you can help me talk about the headline because we need to nail this headline down. I haven't got
Mm,
it fixed yet.
mm,
So we'll help. I think what we got so far roughly along the lines of like how to double your profits, your net profits whilst working less in 90 days using our something strategy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
basically that. So earn more, work less is my fundamental background thing. That's what I'm going to have
mm,
as the sort of fixation thing to try and sell it. So I want you to be earning and scaling and growing your business while doing less hours and feeling your best. Is that not what a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs want to be having?
yeah. That is the gold mine.
Hmm. Cool. Nice. Then there's a lot of people I can help. And I'll start by helping you in refining the process. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. We'll end up with first solid testimonial.
Yeah, that's what I need, to be honest, because it's lacking with that.
Has the landing
Okay, what
page
do you
been
think?
released, by the way?
Go on. What?
Has the landing page been released, by the way?
No,
Your land.
because the VSL needs to be finished. I basically have everything ready, and then Andre was like, "I don't like the W revenue," because we'd agreed on it, and I was like, "I don't really like either." I was just willing to commit to something to get us going, to go for it, because I
Why didn't you
know I
guys
can help.
like it?
I don't like the revenue side of it because
Oh,
as a
revenue,
watch,
right, right. Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be um like profits, personal gain from it, right?
revenue's income, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
why I haven't seen anyone that specifies the net profits because
yeah.
they're scared. But actually, it's where you can get the biggest results because not only that, it's tidying finances, it's also scaling your income and tidying your expenses. So you can actually do this, which is really powerful, rather than just doubling your revenue, which is normally just that. Oh, I'll get more sales, we'll get more clients, we'll just pump people into the funnel. No, it's not just about that. It's about this, dropping your expenses in a valuable way and keeping it structured, and this.
Mm,
And that's the key thing because it's easy to scale and your lifestyle scales with it, and that way you're still not having profits. The profits are what you need to scale and grow and survive for the long term.
yeah, yeah.
And personally, if you want a lot of wealth, you want to scale as much as you can, and then you want to specifically each month draw out a specific amount and then put it into investments. And
Mm,
now and the next few years are amazing times to build massive wealth. So I will recommend you, like as soon as you can, to start pulling certain percentages out and start building some positions in the stock
yeah,
market and in cryptocurrency, and possibly some other things.
yeah. I do want to learn a
But
lot more about this because I do not know I almost know nothing about investments in this day and age besides typical huge real estate investments. Other than like I don't know anything about the crypto investments, or like I know about it but not the actionable process now. Like if I'm to say, okay, let me withdraw this from my account and now invest it like this, it's just like, where do I start from that? So that would be really cool.
that's
I'm very excited for
that's
that.
my game as well. Yeah. Well,
Perfect.
we'll do all of this, and then maybe that's another package that I can offer as like I don't know, because I've always wanted to do an investment package, but
That would be cool.
not
Yeah.
sure how to structure it. and it's also like an onward step for you. Okay, all right, bonus, do you want to do it? I'll give you a bit of a discount for this, and now you're getting to here, and now your net profit's here. You should definitely start investing. So this is where I'm going to take you now. Do you want to buy the?
Yeah, that's good.
You know, it's a good little process. Sweet. So if you just get that down, get your business plan like clear. Don't have spend fucking hours on it. Just get something down that's going to give you some direction and some thoughts to look at. And then something on your desktop where it's tied in and you can see it every day. That's the main things. It's the vision. You've got an amazing vision, so you don't need to really work on that. A lot of people, I have to help them get a vision, know what they're looking towards, help build that momentum, that burning desire, all that shit. So
yeah, starting from square one.
Yeah. What do you want to work on next specifically then? I have a few things I normally do, but if you've got something that's outstanding or something that you feel like the burning thing that you would want to tidy up to start with, let's focus on that and get that out of the way.
I think the main thing is tidying up all of the processes in the agency as fast as possible, because that way, if that is all tidied up, then my time being the most valuable time towards where I can do this for this potential client, or make this thing for the landing page, or make this like basically something that has the highest ROI task. If that would be the main thing needed in order to get things to the next level and to scale from that point onwards, is to get all of this inside the business moving smoothly and correctly. And yeah, I don't want to though. It doesn't sound as fancy as going over this meditation hack or this whatever, but I that is what would help the most. Was what I think tackle.
That's the thing, isn't it? Most people want to hear all the fancy shiny fucking objects, don't they? But actually what rotates and makes the machine go round are all the oily, disgusting parts that no one wants to play with. So
that's a good analogy.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So next session, full on systems and processes. You can tell me exactly how your business operates. Maybe even do a quick flow chart. I don't know how long it'll take, just of like every stage, how you can break it down and let me visualize it.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll
roughly how it works and who you've got in what department and what you want to do. So where your business is now and where you want it to get to go, roughly written or structured in a way, so I can see it, and then I know I can help a lot in that area.
Okay then. And then my homework for this is get my business plan out. And then the personal goals too.
Nice, and that could be just doing 15 minutes a day when you've got a chance, and just that's the sort of thing that you build on in the background slowly. It's not something that you need to do. Business critical tasks are much more important, but it's just good to have those things ticking in the background.
Yeah. Business critical tasks are like things that need to be done that will affect the business the most, like right away.
Directly affect the operations of the business and the getting to where you want to go, the scaling, spending less time, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because I spend a lot of time just on what I call maintenance tasks, which is like today. The client hit me up and was like, "Oh, I don't like the way these shirts look. I want us to change this, and I want us to get ready for this Discord." And then I spent like an hour just handling what he asked me to do, and then now I got the same for like 2 other clients, and it's just like removing yourself from that and fixing that. Because those
so you need somebody who's going to deal with that for you. And then if there's anything critical, just send you one message in an email that goes, okay, these are the problems, this is this. Do you have any solutions? And then you ping one. It should only be 1 or 2 messages back. That's done. End of. You sort that out. I pay you for that. Go and do it. And you delegate that to the people that need to delegate to. You're at that stage where it's like, get someone below you. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing is doing the sales calls to get clients and the onboarding process and making that smooth and great.
I think the reason I haven't outsourced that position yet, I mean, now it will be, because now they're all going to be thrown into this Discord, and Fu is going to be the middleman handling the communications.
These things we'll talk about, but it's exactly the same for me. Like, all I want to be doing is creating high value leverageable content. I want to be building products for Notion templates and giveaways and things that I can sell, and I want to be just building my personal brand. And that's all I want to focus on, and fulfilling the clients. That's it. That's all that's going to bring me results. So everything else other than that, I want to fucking outsource. I don't want to be replying to people on Twitter. I don't want to be replying to anyone else. and that's the stage that you've got to get to, you know. But sometimes you've got to go through it to get there.
Yeah,
but
you do.
if you're at 15k a month already consistent, then you've gone past that. You need to move that forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Need to move that
Again.
out of the way.
Right, I'll let you go. Come on, nice one. Sweet.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, brother. Thank you
Nice
so
one,
much.
man. Have a good one.
You
Always.
too.
No
Have a
worries.
great night.
Pleasure.